Hey, Googans coming in hot. It's beef. It's after drill on a Wednesday morning, the 27th of June, 2018. How are you? I'm beef. Drew Hicken, under the weather a little bit today. When I was doing the show with Drew yesterday, and he announces to me we're going inside the business here. Hi, Casey. We wrap up the After Drill show yesterday, and if you've watched the show, you know what upsets. Look, okay, inside the business. I've been telling him how you're under the weather and how you're not available, ladies and gentlemen. Drew Hicken here in person after telling me after 15 minutes of sitting this close to each other says I got to go to the doctor now. Pretty sure I have strep. I was ready to kill Drew yesterday, but Drew's here. He courageously pulled through. He's here after a long visit to the doctor. Hello, Dean. If you, Drew, welcome back. Drew got the high chair on. Now he looks like he's towering over me, like he's like an NBA. So that's fine, man. I don't know. My chair might be in the low position too. Mine's a little low. Hey, look there. Now we look like we're the same height. All right. Yeah. So yesterday we do after drill, and Drew, after we're done, says, "Oh yeah, I got to go see the doctor. I'm pretty sure I've got strep." So I literally spent the entire day and night. Every time anything fell off, I'm like,
"Yeah." We got up to like 101 last night, but
ooh,
no fever.
cooking.
No fever this morning. So
Drew had the bug, man.
We're good.
Yeah. It's going around, dude.
Yeah.
So welcome in After Drill. We're here every day after the award-winning drill program. Again, Prosper Free Radio this week. So it's Jeff is out, Dan Hicken is in. Drew was out today because Wednesdays were jam-packed, and just quite frankly, we just don't need the help. But
should be back tomorrow.
Should be back in the mix tomorrow, health permitting. We'll have, oh my dear, wow, we've got all the Hickens on this thing.
I mean,
hello, Dan.
The numbers are growing on the After the
numbers
Drill
are
program.
growing. Well, right. Look at this. Say what up to Daryl.
What up, Daryl?
There we are.
Sideways, what up?
That'll help. I don't know. Was that a gang sign?
Yeah, what was that?
Are we being initiated into the Hicken gang?
What are we doing
Drew's
today?
already in. Well, we haven't gotten there yet. I was
You
starting.
get a haircut, man?
I do need a haircut.
I was starting the show solo. I didn't think Drew was going to be here.
You rolled in late?
He rolled in a few minutes late. He rolled in on Prosser time. So he was here about 2 minutes into the show.
He's the Jeff Prosser of After the Drill.
He really is. He's angry.
Huh?
Yeah, the whole bit. Robert, good to see you, buddy.
Up.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thumbs up to Robert.
I was in the bathroom. Let me make sure my flies on.
Yeah, please.
Okay,
I don't need any
no doors down.
No doors down. No XYZs.
No. Star-studded post row.
It's big time right now. Having Dan here. Dan grinded. He's been here since 6:20 this morning. Now he's hanging out for After Drill. He's really going above and beyond today.
He's coming early, staying late. You know.
I saw Dan was at the doctor yesterday as well. Got the stitches out.
Yeah.
Drew got the clean bill of health.
Mm-hmm.
After Drew told me he thought he had strep, Dan, I spent most of yesterday in a pure panic sweat fear.
Kind of like
I was going to get sick.
Cross had the salmonella.
Yeah. For all we know, he could be up in Wisconsin dying a slow death of salmonella right now.
Do you think he's left for Wisconsin yet?
I hope so.
Yeah, I doubt it.
He did text me his golf picks, so
Dadgummit.
He probably wouldn't be in Wisconsin if he had texted me the golf picks. Hope he didn't hear any of the things we were saying.
He was
about
playing
him.
on a local course somewhere around here.
Yes.
He's knocking around some muni down here.
Yeah.
One last go around before he hits the real courses in whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
It was a fun show today. We had a good time.
Wasn't as good as yesterday, by the way.
It was not as good as yesterday.
No.
HGTV really brought the fire.
Brought the house down.
Yeah.
Man.
There was a
People
lot
love
of
the
good little
HGTV
nuggets yesterday. Today, although the Jags roster thing was interesting, I thought.
Yeah, we really
being ranked 10th.
Not that this is breaking news, but it seems like we're really not fans of the Pro Football Focus on the drill.
No.
We're not big fans.
See you, boys.
See ya, Hick.
Yeah.
One Hicken out, one Hicken remains. It's like Thunderdome. Two Hickens enter, one Hicken leaves. So if
that
you
means
didn't catch
I won, by the way.
You won. You're the champion of the Hicken family, which is why you didn't have to give up your car.
We were talking totem pole yesterday. I mean, this is tough.
Oh my God! I don't want to get into how much Dan got paid for the cameo, but I'll just say
it's under the table.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's under the table. Off the books.
So ESPN and they're partnered with Pro Football Focus to some degree, and they they rated the rosters based on the Pro Football Focus grades, and they had the Jaguars 10th overall.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Which was a little low in our books, but the ultimate disrespect was they had Cam Robinson rated like a 35 on like a scale of 100, and it's basically saying that Cam Robinson wasn't good last year. Is the only way you can you can read that, and that couldn't be further from the truth. Cam Robinson was very good last year when he played. He had a little bit of an injury issue, but Cam Robinson was terrific, and the team is thrilled with Cam Robinson. So it's yeah.
Let me hold something.
Let me hold something.
Well, what would you like, Daryl?
What would you like to hold?
What would you like to hold, Daryl?
What would you like to hold? Do you want to hold one of us?
Come here, Daryl.
Yeah. Yeah. Drew's. I don't know. I'd probably be more comfortable to lay on. But Drew's younger and might actually run at a warmer temperature right now, so it might be warm and more comfortable to be held by Drew instead of me. Although I do run warm just in general. I'm a hot-bodied person.
Fair. And we got the white shirt on today, so you probably have the
oh, some money? Yeah. When you get some money, Daryl, you let me know, because we certainly don't have it.
Yeah, that would
the
be
one
great.
With the money walked out the door about 2 minutes
ago. If you find some money to hold, it would be great if you could pass it around amongst us.
I've been here for a decade plus, and I still haven't found any money.
He got paid more for the cameo than we have in our entire time here.
Yeah, Dan, because he'll be able to invoice that back to the boss man, and the boss man will pay. Mm-hmm. Whatever Dan says the cameo on After Drill was worth in the invoice, he'll pay it out.
That's right.
Yeah, whatever Dan Hicken wants, Dan Hicken gets. He's like Lola around here. He
even has his own bathroom down the hall.
Yes, he has his own personal bathroom. If you haven't seen it yet, Dan Hicken has his own private bathroom down the hall. It's got a little star with his name on it. Now, I will tell you this. After 10 a.m. when Dan leaves, just to spite him, I will go down to the Dan Hicken restroom and poop. Mm-hmm. Just to spite Dan.
And sometimes you do or maybe don't flush.
Well, there was one time I threw an upper decker in there.
Boom.
Unfortunately, he doesn't come back to the morning, so somebody else was really the victim there.
Right.
But I felt justified in my efforts.
You knew what you were doing.
I felt good about it. Either way. We had a good time on the drill. We Get Smart John checked in, as always, on a Wednesday morning. We love checking in with John, although I thought he had some chicken feathers questions this morning. I was very disappointed in the effort. The perfect game went out the window, and it was just some weak-ass questions from Get Smart John today, including he asked, Drew, are you familiar with the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Yes.
The question he asked was, what was Sloane's last name?
Okay.
The girlfriend. In Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Why in God's name would anybody know Sloane's last name?
I simply don't.
I don't know. But yeah, I wasn't a fan. No courtesy flush. Not for Hick.
Why would you courtesy flush? The guy's got his own bathroom.
I still have yet to try the Chris Pratt method, by the way, which I don't know if you heard that clip.
I have not.
Chris Pratt, when he was accepting the Lifetime Achievement or Generation Award or whatever at the MTV Movie Awards, because everybody on the MTV Awards is 12. Mm-hmm. So Chris Pratt has lived a long, healthy life now at the age of 39. It's time for him to die.
Right.
But he gave this lengthy speech, and one of his tips he gave for the kids was... It was a bathroom tip, not to get too gross here, guys, but it was a bathroom tip, and he advised that if you have to go number 2 and you're at a party, you don't want to stink up the joint, is you get all your pee out, and then you poo fast and flush and get out before the stink can infiltrate the airways.
Well, I wish every poo went that way.
Yeah, I haven't tested it yet. I'd like to give it a whirl, see how it goes. I haven't been in the proper social situation.
That's fair.
I don't care if Dan Hicken walks into a stink cloud. And no offense to my lovely wife, but I'm not going to sweat if she has to walk into some kind of stink cloud either.
She knows what she signed up.
Right. She said I do. So whatever comes with it, that's her problem. But yeah, it's. I haven't had the social option. I'm thinking Thanksgiving. I'll be down at the in-laws house.
Okay.
I'm thinking I'll roll it out. And
you'll
Thanksgiving.
have a belly full of food.
Food that leads to malodorous situations, right?
Definitely.
So I'm thinking maybe that's the chance to really get out there and drop a bomb.
She said right back.
Yeah, sure she did. This is right. Tice is right. This may be a generational difference. Drew, you're how old?
I'm 23.
Drew's 23. I'm 38. You reach an age in your life where you do not care about the odor situation anymore. And I feel like I am way past that point. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure where you're at. I'm sure in social situations you may care. Yeah. I don't find myself at a lot of parties anymore. I'm 38 with a kid. I didn't find myself at a lot of parties to begin with, but I certainly don't now. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna shut it down, lock it down, keep it indoors. Mm-hmm. Air conditioning, indoors, and the fan.
That's fair.
Nothing else. That's all I need out of life. That, maybe a bowl of Oops All Berries, and I'm all set.
And that's fair.
It was... we were following LeBron Watch, as always.
Of course.
Try to bring it back to sports. I'm not sure. There's no good segue to go from poop to LeBron, so I'm just going to go. Right. LeBron Watch continues, and Dave McMenamin at ESPN, he's trying to read the tea leaves a little bit. He's connected with LeBron, like Windhorst is, and he said that it feels like there's a pretty decent chance that Cleveland emerges from this thing as the winner. That he sticks in Cleveland and stays home. And I get it to some degree. I feel like any choice he makes to go to the Western Conference is a tougher path to the finals than staying in Cleveland. Now, if he went to Philadelphia or Boston, that's another story because those guys...
I think the more that I think about it, what if Philly was able to swing a trade for Kawhi? I think Philly would make a ton of sense.
Sure, it would. There'd be some moving parts, but I don't know how much...
But as a LeBron guy personally, I would love to see LeBron stay in Cleveland. I think that would be... And here's the other thing for LeBron. He's not going to get a pass for the championships if he goes somewhere else. If he stays in Cleveland and he's able to squeeze out another one or two...
Squeeze out.
Squeeze out. Back to the poop. What J.R. Smith did in Game 1. Pooped his pants. LeBron squeezing out championships. It comes full circle here on After Drill.
Lawrence, I assure you, at least 25% of the time After the Drill is a sports show. Just we got a little off the rails a little bit. The Drill is a sports show, sort of. After Drill,
sort of. I mean,
technically,
it was like a 45-minute, like 2-part segment on HGTV.
Yeah,
yesterday,
so only loosely a sports show.
Come on.
Is the regular Drill, but After Drill, all bets are off on After Drill. But yeah, I could see Cleveland emerging as the winner. There's still obviously there's a huge draw for him. He came back, although he has accomplished his stated goal of bringing a title to Cleveland. I could see where for the lasting
he
legacy,
gets a pass either way. I
could see there being an appeal to go back.
Mm-hmm. I think he should. I think, like I said, if you're talking about LeBron and his kind of quest for more titles, if he leaves, one would think he's leaving because he's chasing rings. If he stays in Cleveland, it's more about, I want to win another one for Cleveland and this and that. Like I said, I think I think people see Cleveland's roster and understand the dumpster fire kind of that is the Cavs without LeBron, and I think at times he gets a little bit of a pass there. But if you go to the Lakers and you team up with Paul George and Kawhi and you're like making this big move out west, I don't think he's going to get that pass. I think maybe people would give him like a grace year to get Kawhi in there and everything, and then after that they'd expect them to go after Golden State.
Well, and here's the thing with Cleveland's situation right now, too. They'd have to get awfully creative, even if they can get LeBron back. Yeah. Because without LeBron, if LeBron walks out the door, they are still in the tax.
Yeah.
They're still in the luxury tax.
Well, he's also, by the way, he's going to have to, I think it would be smart for him to not opt out if he's going to stay. Because him at, what is it, 33 or 35 mils, something like that, that's a bargain for LeBron James.
Sure, absolutely.
So if you want that roster to be better, I mean, he's...
Well, they're going to have to get creative. They're going to have to make some trades because, like I said, they have such a large portion of their roster that's still under contract for the next 2 seasons. It's not just about next year, it's the year after as well. I mean, there's Kevin Love is under contract next season and a player option, but JR, Tristan Thompson, Jordan Clarkson, these guys are all under contract for large chunks of money. George Hill, these guys are all under contract for large chunks of money for the next couple years. They've got huge deals that they've got to deal with, and that's why even if LeBron walks away for nothing, they're still over the luxury tax. They have to make deals. They have to make trades if they're going to change and reshape this roster. I saw yesterday that there was someone connecting Cleveland to Kemba Walker, who still has a year left on his deal. But there's talk that Charlotte may look to move him if he doesn't want to sign an extension with Charlotte. That'd be a great piece to add. But they can't just they've got to find a way. They've got to find something Charlotte wants in return. And what does Charlotte want from that roster? Do they want Tristan Thompson? Do they want one of these J.R. Smith? Do they want these pieces? LeBron's going to have to get flexible because these are the guys he wanted on that Cleveland roster. And if he wants to stay in Cleveland and he wants things to change, he's got to be flexible and decide which guys he needs to have around and which guys he can do without. If they want to trade Kevin Love, which they've said they don't want to, they don't want, with LeBron or without, they want Kevin Love to be a cornerstone piece of what they're doing in the future. And if they're going to retain LeBron, you would think they would try and retain Kevin Love, too. I mean, for all the things people say about him, he's still a tremendous player.
Yeah, for me, the Kyrie trade, I mean, you can read the tea leaves all you want. For me, the Kyrie trade...
It was a bad deal.
It was the beginning of the end there, because then you see what Isaiah Thomas isn't, and after that, I mean, it's all downhill from there. And now that roster, it's just terrible. I mean, without Kyrie... When you have Kyrie and LeBron and K-Love, you at least have 3 building blocks you can kind of build around. Now it's literally just LeBron. I mean, you can, like you said... K-Love's a good player,
right?
But again, when you don't have, especially when you don't have a guy like Kyrie who can distribute the ball around. I mean, K-Love's not going to go out there and drop 25 every night. He's just not going to do it. So you lose a big-time scorer. You lose a guy who moves the ball around the point guard. You do just get Sexton from Alabama, but who even knows what he's going to be? That's not enough to keep LeBron around, obviously.
No, now if they can move some of those pieces like Tristan Thompson and JR and get a guy like a Kemba Walker.
Walker would be
to
great
go
for
with
them.
Love and LeBron,
Yeah.
that might be enough. You may not have to get crazy and try to
I just
land
don't. Is
a
that
Kawhi
enough?
Leonard.
Is that enough to beat Golden State though?
I don't know that it is, but if you go to the Lakers and even if Paul George comes with you, is your path to the finals any better than staying in Cleveland with those guys?
Not when you got to go against Houston and Golden State. I'd say probably not. Not to mention your regular season is going to be more rigorous than it is in the East for
Sure.
LeBron. Even though he did just play 82 straight games, I mean, the fact of the matter is that the West is just better. So it would be
deeper,
yeah.
tougher, man.
Yeah, it would be.
You go to the Lakers, you've got to get through Golden State. You've got to get through Houston, Oklahoma City, Portland, San Antonio, Utah. These are all good teams.
Yeah.
If you're in the East, who do you have to worry about? Boston and Philadelphia.
Philly, really.
That's it.
And
you're not worrying about Toronto.
I really don't feel like Philly, without another piece, is beating Braun anytime soon.
They've got teams that are okay, but nobody's scaring you in the East.
Boston feels like a legit threat, but
Boston, if Hayward is what Hayward was,
and
Kyrie is what Kyrie is,
then they're a threat.
They're a real threat, and they're a real championship threat. They're not just a threat to win the East; they're a threat to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
And if these things come to fruition,
Right.
Hayward says he's going to be back for the start of the season. He said it's full steam ahead. He said he's good to go, so you have to take him at his word.
I still think Kyrie's out after 2018. I think
he might be
a free agent.
You
he's
know,
gone.
I think even if he likes being in Boston, I think players believe, and it's their right under the bargaining agreement, that it's their right, and they owe it to themselves to
test the waters,
and see what's out there.
Kind of seems like that's what Kyrie's wanted, for the last several years.
Because he's never had that opportunity.
So,
and a lot of guys don't have that opportunity until later in their career.
Right.
It's because they get that offer to get that max deal, that second deal with their initial club.
If Boston goes out and wins a title, maybe that changes things. I don't know. Yeah. But again, Kyrie now hasn't been healthy, really truly healthy. He's got a guy who's now got some history of injuries now.
Yeah, he's had there's some durability questions when it comes to Kyrie. But we'll see. We'll see. The NBA season still we're in the off season now. It's kind of the dead zone. So we'll see. Free agency, really everything gets going. The end of this week is when the deadline is to opt in on player option years. July 1st is the opening of the free agency window. Things will start fast and furious with July 4th coming up, middle of the week. Remember last year, Kevin Durant signed on July 4th. And, there's reports now saying that LeBron's deal will be done before the 4th of July, before the break.
Wow.
So if that's the case, then you feel like he already knows what he's doing, whether it's Cleveland or LA.
I feel like if that's the case, it is Cleveland.
Yeah.
I think the sooner that it happens, the better news it is for Cleveland.
I think you're right. I think the faster it moves, the better the situation is for Cleveland. Because LA, I feel like there'd be too many moving parts.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to LA sight unseen. He's going to LA if there's a plan. Unless he's gotten promises from Paul George that he's going there as well. And there may be that. Right. There was a report also that an Eastern Conference exec said that LeBron has been calling and talking to players. Now, they can't document it. He'll never admit it because that's tampering since he's still under contract. But obviously that stuff happens in the league. It's a tampering-rich league. And that's why it's so funny when the Lakers keep getting busted for tampering. Because everybody tampers in the NBA.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to tamper and not get caught. But somehow the Lakers keep getting caught doing it. It's just dumb.
It is remarkable.
It's crazy, man. Also crazy, yesterday, I feel good. My guy Javi Baez had just a monster night for the Cubs in LA as the Cubs got off the deck after losing 5 straight.
Modern day miracle. The Mets won a game last night.
The Mets won a game. I believe it's their first one in about 3 weeks.
Frank Franchi took one from the Pirates.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Now, are your Mets, this is kind of resurfaced now that we're trekking into July, and, the Mets are obviously going to be sellers at the deadline, and the biggest piece they have to sell is Jacob deGrom. Do you feel like, do they have to move him, or is he a good enough piece, even at his age, that there's still significant value in keeping him?
I'm not moving DeGrom unless you're willing to give me a huge...
Unless you blow the doors off?
You got to really... Like they said, basically, if you want to offer me a top-level prospect, an already proven pro, and a guy who's on the rise, and then we can talk about it. But I mean, these got to be some top. I mean, I have to get a huge return from Jake DeGrom, and if I don't get that, then I'm not even going to listen.
Well,
and that again, I don't feel like the Mets have to move him. I don't think the Mets will move him. I don't think they're going to move DeGrom or Syndergaard. I think Syndergaard is much more likely. I think the thing when you think about Syndergaard is though. The thing that worries me now about him is now he does have that injury problem. And you look back several years ago when they were talking about potentially moving Matt Harvey and what you could have moved Matt Harvey for at the time. I mean, you could have got some big names for Matt Harvey.
You could have got some quality prospects for Matt Harvey.
And now you start to worry about Syndergaard. I mean, every year it seems like, oh, well, Syndergaard, he's going to be right in the Cy Young race this year. Nope, he's been out for the last month. He's been on the DL several times this year. He obviously tore his lat last year and was out for 3 months. I mean, this is starting to build up, and he's not really doing anything. I mean, Matt Harvey, I think, has more wins than Noah Syndergaard.
Well, and the value
in the last year or so, or whatever it is.
Right, and the value with acquiring DeGrom now too is also the length of service. Right, he's under club control. For 2 additional seasons through 2020, right?
It's a huge deal if you're able to trade for Jacob DeGrom. Exactly. That's why it's not like it's a rental. You're going to get him for the next several years. I think he's under contract till 2020 or 2021. So I mean, that's a big chunk there for you. So you're going to have to really blow my doors off if I'm the Mets. But again, wouldn't be surprised to see Mets ownership butcher a trade because that's what we do. I have no faith
and I wonder
in the Mets. So.
Are they more or less inclined to get active now that Sandy Alderson has stepped back after the return of his cancer, which is a terrible story, but,
sure. Sandy, I would say probably less.
Right, are they going to kind of stand pat and go, whoa,
I would say probably less inclined.
Yeah. We'll have to see. Trade deadline comes up later in July. All-Star break's kind of mid-July. So we're entering in that kind of mid-season zone of the baseball season. I mean, at this point, you know what teams are. It's the midway point of the season. You know what teams are. If you're good, you're good. If you're bad, you're bad.
You've played over 70 baseball games, I mean.
Right. And right now, there's teams that could use pitching help that will at least be
Jacob DeGrom makes a lot of teams like legit World Series.
Better.
Yeah, I mean, so...
Yeah. The additional club control is what makes it so, because there was an article about the Brewers targeting DeGrom. Mm-hmm. And he makes perfect sense for Milwaukee because they... try, cannot lure free agents to Milwaukee. It's just not an attractive destination. They can't get guys to sign there long term. So adding a guy who's a top-level player who also you're going to have for 2 more seasons makes a whole lot of sense for Milwaukee. Now, you'd have to give up a lot, but they're in the middle. They're in first place in the NL Central. They're in the mix. They're trying to be a real contender. That's the type of guy. That's a fate changer.
I mean, I think Yankees are World Series favorites if they can get Jacob DeGrom. But then they come out and they say they don't want to give up Andujar and they don't want to give up Gleyber Torres. And I said, well, then you can't have them.
Right, that's the thing. You got to get off the wall.
Yeah, I mean, you can't sit there and say, I'm not going to give you my 2 best prospects or anybody, but we still want Jacob DeGrom. You can't have them.
This is reminiscent of... Yeah, we haven't had this level pitcher available at the deadline in a little while. I mean, big-name pitchers get moved. But guys that are top-level guys who are playing like top-level guys who are available is very rare.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I've seen maybe it hasn't been since, I don't know, maybe when Roy Halladay got traded, where a guy who's at the top of his game is also available at the top of his game. Usually you'll get a guy who's maybe a year off.
You've seen prospects come to fruition quickly, like Fulmer a couple years ago with the Cespedes deal with the Tigers. But I mean, nobody
you catch a hot guy.
Yeah, but nobody who's at the top of their game already in the bigs.
I mean, DeGrom's a legit ace. He's at the top of his game, pitching as well as anybody in baseball, and he's gettable for the right price.
His records don't look like it because the Mets are awful, and I think it's no run support.
Well, it's like
look at his ERA.
When Roger Clemens was juiced out of his mind. I think it was like 02 or 03 for the Astros, and he was pitching just bananas. I mean, he had a sub-3 ERA, and he was pitching out of his mind. And he was like, I think he was like 2-6 at one point that season because the Astros would go out and just give him no run support. And that's the same situation DeGrom's, and he's pitching lights out. He's just getting absolutely no help. But we'll keep watching the trade wires. We're in different shoes. My team, certainly, if they're going to make a move, will be a buyer at the deadline. And your team, without a doubt, is going to be a seller now, 15 under, approaching the All-Star break.
Yeah.
So we'll be watching it. Let us know in the comments if you want to see if your baseball team's looking to make a move, what you think. about the pending trade deadline in Major League Baseball. We always like to watch it. It's a good time of year. We love trade deadlines in all the sports because it's just massive speculation, and then a flurry of deals, or sometimes not when the deadline finally comes and goes. But we'll be back here, same bad time, same bad channel, for another edition of After
That's
Drill
right.
tomorrow. It'll be me, it'll be Drew. Drew will be back in with the Drill tomorrow morning, so you'll get to enjoy Extra Drew tomorrow on 1010XL on 92.5 FM. Busy Thursday, of course. We'll have Doc Murphy in studio as well. So and we'll talk to Captain Kevin Favor, get you set for the weekend on the waterways. So join us tomorrow morning, bright and early, 6 o'clock on 1010XL for the Drill. We love you, Googans.